SOJA, give me the rhythm, them I'ma burn them quickly.
Listen up, reggae veterans. You grew up on Steel Pulse, Black Uhuru, Third World, and Burning Spear. You remember when reggae had weight?
Working towards a goal, and we give thanks for helping hands. Pray for health and strength.
Conscious lyrics, live instrumentation, a bass line that hit you in the chest. You've been wondering if anyone's keeping that fire burning. Well, good news, they are, and some of them are carrying the torch better than you'd ever expect. Here are 10 modern acts that deserve a place in your collection, right next to your vinyl. Number 10, Lila Iké, The Rising Star.
Working towards a goal, and we give thanks for helping hands. Pray for health and strength, life and length.
You were never told about Lila Iké. And if you've never heard that name before, that's exactly why she's on this list. Close your eyes for a second. Picture a warm Kingston night.
I got where the journey begun. I really love it, say that I'm strong.
The kind where the breeze is just barely moving the curtains and somebody in the next yard is playing Lovers Rock on an old radio. That's the feeling Lila Iké gives you. Pure, real, deep roots wrapped in something that feels brand new. Lila Iké, born Alicia Ike McKenzie in Brownstown, Jamaica. I started singing in church and you can hear it. Every note she holds with conviction. She signed to Protoje's label, Indignation Collective, and that's your first sign that the real reggae family takes her seriously.
Looking back at her, the journey begun.
Her debut EP, The Red Plate, in 2019 turned heads fast, and her 2022 album, I Am, showed a maturity way beyond her years.
Mix with dirty bongo seed, they know me just surprise and summarize as some humble.
She was even featured in Grammy.com's own roundup of artists shaping contemporary reggae. That's not a small thing. What's wild is that she started performing publicly only around 2018. That's 4 or 5 years to go from virtually unknown to being recognized by the highest music body in the world. The talent was always there.
I'm strong. All praises to the most I want.
She just needed the right room. Now here's why she's underrated for 80s fans specifically. Her sound sits right in that space between lovers rock and conscious roots.
Reach and curved. Remember when you got there, so you're not ever left.
If you grew up loving artists like Janet Kay or Carol Thompson, Lila Iké will feel like a gift from the past. She just wrapped it in 2020's packaging. She hasn't quite reached the mainstream yet. Her reach is still growing, but everyone in the reggae world who is paying attention
Heights of great men, reach and curved,
knows what's coming. Right now, she's the secret. Soon she won't be. Stay with me, because number 9 is a band that the reggae world knows is great, but the rest of the world has barely discovered them yet. And that is a serious crime. Number 9, Raging Fyah, the band that refused to water it down. Number 9. Raging Fyah, and honestly, if justice existed in the music industry, this band would be a household name by now. Imagine you're standing at a sound system in Kingston on a Friday night. The bass is moving the ground under your feet. The message in the lyrics is hitting you in the chest at the same time. That's the Raging Fyah experience. This is deep roots reggae, heavy dub pressure, conscious fire. When the kind of music that doesn't just entertain you, it talks to you. Raging Fyah formed in Kingston, Jamaica around 2004. From the very beginning, they committed to one thing. Live band, real instruments, real message, no shortcuts. Their albums Judgment Day, Everlasting, and Judgment Day showed a band that studied the greats, not to copy them, but to build on what they started. Produced largely under VP Records, one of the most respected reggae labels in the world, their music has been recognized and praised by roots purists globally. They toured with artists like Damian Marley and built their reputation through grinding live performance, not radio play. Here's a fun fact that surprised even die-hard reggae fans. Their 2014 album, Everlasting, was recorded mostly live in the studio. With the full band playing together at the same time, just like the old Jamaican recording sessions of the 70s. That discipline is rare in the modern era. That's not nostalgia. That's commitment. Why are they overlooked? Partly because they refuse to bend toward dancehall or pop crossover sounds. They stayed in their lane, and that lane gets less mainstream media attention. Their distribution was also limited outside of Jamaica and parts of Europe. What for 80s fans who loved the sound of Steel Pulse or Aswad, Raging Fyah is the most direct connection you will find in modern reggae. Number 8 is coming from a place you might not expect. Thousands of miles from Kingston, and they're doing something that even the Jamaican artists respect. Number 8, the Green Hawaii's hidden gift to roots reggae.
Yo, you know you got me.
There's something about island air that makes reggae feel honest. Maybe it's the ocean. Maybe it's the understanding that life is bigger than your problems. Whatever it is, the Green have tapped into it completely.
So many guys have been trying to impress you, but they can love you, girl, like I do.
Their music has that warm, genuine roots sound, the kind that doesn't feel performed, it feels lived. The Green formed in Honolulu, Hawaii, and released their debut self-titled album in 2009.
Don't wanna see it, cry your eyes out, girl, 'cause I've been watching you.
From the first track, you could tell this wasn't a gimmick. The bass lines were full and deliberate. The harmonies were tight. The lyrics spoke about love, struggle, unity, the same things the Kingston originators were singing about back in the day.
So baby, just come in, open.
Their music sits beautifully in that mid-tempo root zone, not dance hall fast, not dub slow, just that perfect reggae pocket that makes you nod your head without even thinking about it.
I need more than me is you, something I said I never do.
The tracks like Baby Come Back and Let Me Be the One show real craftsmanship, melody, and message in the same breath. Here's what's interesting. Hawaii has a deeply connected reggae culture.
As long as you want me to. Yeah, baby, if you want me, you got me.
Going back decades, rooted in the island's own history of colonization, identity, and community, the Green didn't just play reggae, they grew up surrounded by it. That context matters. It means the music comes from a real place, not a trend.
I'll make you come in, open up your heart.
For 80s fans, the Green scratches that itch for melodic, clean roots reggae with emotional depth. They fly under the radar internationally, but in the American Reggae Festival circuit, they are one of the most beloved live acts around.
Those words that you say, they say that life has a rhythm.
Underrated globally, absolutely respected by those who know. Coming up, and if you're enjoying this, smash that like button right now.
I will never leave ya. Travel across the world, yeah, baby, just to see ya, no matter.
Because number 7 is someone who takes the spiritual side of reggae to a place most artists won't dare to go. Number 7, JAH9, the poet, who turned reggae into a spiritual experience.
Blame the court, blame the girls that told you yes, blame the girl that told you no, blame the girl that was.
This is not background music. JAH9's music asks you to sit down, close your eyes, and really listen. It's dark, it's spiritual, it's poetry over rhythm. Think about those deep, heavy Burning Spear albums from the late 70s.
Sexing off for sport, blame the rich when you steal, then when they catch you, blame the court, blame the
ones that felt like a meditation more than just a record. JAH9 lives in that same space, but she brings something completely her own. In JAH9, born Janine Cunningham in Jamaica,
not taking no time to give praises unto him who is the light and the law,
came up through a world of jazz and dub poetry before she found her place in roots reggae. She signed with Ghetto Youths International, Damian Julian and Stephen Marley's label. And that tells you everything about her quality. That family does not sign artists they don't believe in. Her debut album, New Name, in 2013 was a declaration. Her follow-up, 9, in 2015, deepened everything she promised. Her lyrics explore identity, spirituality.
What if all you had to do to win was to learn from the example?
Femininity and consciousness in ways that most artists, male or female, don't even attempt. She has been praised by music critics across the globe as one of the most original voices in contemporary reggae.
Not taking no time to give praises unto him who is the light and the law.
Fun fact, JAH9 was a dub poetry performer long before she stepped into the recording studio. She can hold a crowd with just her words and a drum pattern. That background gives her music a rawness that you simply cannot fake. For 80s fans who love the dents,
is on the low, heart over full, but he don't want it to show, he don't love.
its spiritual weight of early 80s roots reggae and the kind of music that felt like it was speaking directly to your soul, JAH9 is essential. She is criminally underheard by the older generation that would appreciate her most.
To him who is the light and the law, the truth and the way, so I can't let it.
Number 6 is going to make some of you say, oh wait, I used to see them at festivals and I never knew how big they were getting. Here comes Rebelution. Number 6, Rebelution, the American band that earned every fan the hard way.
Safe and sound, you better know why. And baby, that's all.
This band, right from the start, they built everything themselves. No industry shortcuts, no major label money, just music and road. Picture a California festival on a Saturday afternoon. The sun is out.
I've got baby, that's all.
The crowd is big, and up on that stage, a band with a heavy root sound is making thousands of people feel exactly the way your favorite 80s reggae records used to make you feel.
Is this the kind of sound?
Or that's Rebelution on any given summer weekend. Formed in the early 2000s in Isla Vista, California, Rebelution came together as a group of university students who shared one thing.
Bring the thing that you know I like. You're checking one time, baby, overnight.
A deep love of roots reggae. From the very beginning, they committed to a melodic, dub-influenced, message-driven sound. Their debut album, Courage to Grow, in 2007 introduced them to a growing American reggae audience, and they never looked back.
I'm all about the look that you're giving me. I'm all about the dance 'cause you love.
What their catalog is rich. Albums like Peace of Mind and Falling Into Place show a band that keeps getting better with age. They've sold out theaters and amphitheaters across the United States and built one of the most loyal fan bases in modern reggae.
We'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why.
Songs like Feeling All Right and Safe and Sound carry that timeless roots warmth that pulls you in immediately. What's remarkable is that they did it almost entirely through relentless touring.
When we grow up down again, we'll be dreaming.
hundreds of shows a year in the early days. You know, viral moment, no celebrity cosign, just showing up night after night and letting the music speak. That kind of work ethic would have been respected in any era of reggae history.
We'll be dreaming safe and sound, you better know why.
For 80s fans, Rebelution represents everything that's honest about reggae and the positive message, the live band sound, the commitment to craft.
Well, I'm the type of guy that you never be. You can do your thing to come near.
They may be from California, but their heart is firmly in the tradition. We are now crossing into the top 5, and number 5 is where the first real controversy lives. Stay right here. Number 5, SOJA, the Grammy winners who divided the reggae world.
Something to prove. I love my memories, but they are...
Yes, I told you a controversy was coming, and here it is. So let's talk about it properly. First, the music, because the music is genuinely remarkable. SOJA's 2022 album, Beauty in the Silence,
Yeah, yeah. And I can't get far from it. And
won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album. And what made critics and purists take notice was this. Of all the Grammy winners in the 2000s, SOJA's album was described as the most traditional, most rootsy,
and from what went wrong, and I know it's stupid.
a most classically reggae of the entire decade's winners coming from an American band from Virginia. That is extraordinary. Their sound is deep, full band, conscious lyrics, songs that talk about justice,
I am not done yet.
faith, love, and purpose. If you closed your eyes and just listened, you could be forgiven for thinking this came straight out of Kingston in 1982. That's how committed they are to the sound. Now, the controversy. When SOJA won that Grammy in 2022,
The farther I get away, the more
what a wave of discussion spread through the reggae community, especially in Jamaica. Some people felt strongly that the most important prize in reggae should go to a Jamaican artist. That the Grammy for Best Reggae Album
looked into my eyes the one last time.
is one of the few global platforms that puts Jamaican music in front of the world, and when it goes to an American band, it sends a complicated message. In interviews, yet various Jamaican artists and producers have spoken carefully but clearly
Those times when we were young and everything was so.
about the importance of protecting what reggae represents as a Jamaican art form. There are different versions of the story. Some say the Grammy voters don't fully understand the culture. Others point out that reggae has always been a global music,
I'm not done yet.
and that restricting it by geography misses the point. What this controversy actually did was push that conversation into the open in a healthy way. It made people ask hard questions about cultural ownership,
Done yet.
industry gatekeeping, and what it means to play a music that was born from a very specific experience in a very specific place. And here's what I'll leave you with on this. Reggae's power has always come from truth.
Far from it, and from what went wrong.
From roots, from struggle. If the music is honest, whether it comes from Kingston, London, Virginia, or Hawaii, it carries something real. But the conversation about where reggae's crown belongs,
I'm not done yet.
that conversation is not over, and it shouldn't be. SOJA's music is genuinely excellent. The debate around their Grammy is genuinely important. Both things can be true at the same time.
It's like I'm not done yet.
Number 4 is the man who built the bridge between the old reggae world and the new one. And without him, the entire reggae revival may never have happened. Number 4, Protoje, the architect of the reggae revival.
Love to my friends and foes, and I suppose I'm pleased.
If you want to understand modern reggae, this is where you start studying. Picture a Kingston recording session in 2011. A young man steps up to the microphone, not with the polished confidence of a pop star, but with the quiet certainty of someone who has been listening to his mother sing.
Hungry and no eat, and food they down a country does a drop off of the tree them. You see,
Since birth. That young man is Protoje. And what he laid down in those early sessions would become the foundation of one of the most important movements in reggae's modern history.
the reason revealing.
Born Oje Ken Olivier in 1981, Protoje is the son of Jamaican vocal legend Lorna Bennett, the woman who sang Breakfast in Bed and became one of the most beloved voices in 70s reggae.
To my friends and foes, and I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling.
Protoje grew up surrounded by music, by musicians, by the culture. When he picked up the microphone himself, he carried all of that with him. By the early 2000s, Protoje had become the central figure in what the reggae world would call the reggae revival.
The hungry and no eat, and food they down a country does a drop off of the tree them. You see,
A conscious movement back to live instrumentation, deep roots sound, and socially aware lyrics at a time when dancehall and pop were dominating Jamaican radio. His collaboration with Chronixx on the track Who Knows became one of the defining recordings
And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West.
of that entire movement. That one song told the world that young Jamaican artists were choosing roots over commercial pressure. That was brave. And it worked. His albums,
Jah provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine rivers.
The 8-Year Affair, Ancient Future, and A Matter of Time, each built on the last. His 2018 collaboration with Booker T. Jones of Booker T and the MGs.
you know. What do you know if you learn every day? So be careful of things where you say.
Brought him to a whole new audience. Booker T, the legendary soul musician, reached out to Protoje because he heard something in the music that reminded him of the best music from his own era.
Who knows?
That is not a small compliment. For 80s fans, and Protoje is the most direct conversation between the classic roots era and today. His music respects where it came from without being a copy of it. That's the hardest thing to do.
That you know. What do you know if you learn every day? So be careful of things where you say.
And he does it better than almost anyone. Number 3 is a young woman who broke every record in the reggae book, and she did it before she was old enough to legally drink in most countries. Get ready for Koffee. Number 3, Koffee, the record-breaking phenomenon from Spanish Town.
Saw your poster, spectacular photo. Keep it burning, yes, that's the motto. If me
Before you say anything, yes, she is young. Yes, her sound is different from what you grew up with. But stay with me, because what she has done is genuinely historic. Michaela Simpson's stage name Koffee was born in Spanish Town, Jamaica in the year 2000.
me have to thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah, and gratitude.
Think about that for a moment. When Bob Marley passed away, she was not yet born. By 2019, she had a Grammy in her hands at just 19 years old. Koffee became the youngest artist ever to win the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album. She was also the first woman to win that award ever in the history of the Grammys reggae category. Those two facts together, the youngest and the first female, are not statistics. That is a seismic moment in reggae history. Her 2019 EP, Rapture,
The photo, keep it burning, yes, that's the motto. If me the butter pass through your soul to get.
blended reggae with dancehall, hip-hop, and elements of Afro beats in a way that felt completely natural. Not forced, not commercial, natural. And her instincts are extraordinary. Her vocal delivery is effortless.
To gamble in a life, man. Me have to thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the.
But precise, and her lyrics, even at that young age, carry real weight. Protoje himself said, and I'm sharing this in my own words, Koffee changed what it even means to call something reggae or dance hall. She blurred the lines so genuinely that the genre labels almost stopped making sense. That kind of impact doesn't come from marketing. It comes from talent. For 80s fans who might be skeptical of young artists, and here is the challenge. Listen to Koffee and tell me you don't hear the spirit of the music you love. The consciousness is there. The rhythmic intelligence is there. The Jamaican identity is completely there. It just sounds like 2019, not 1982. And that's exactly what it's supposed to sound like. Number 2 is a man who was handpicked by the Marley family to carry the roots torch forward, and his work proves they chose right. Number 2, Kabaka Pyramid, the crown prince of conscious roots.
Hey, Mr. DJ, play that one again. Well, it's a reggae music where the people.
The fact that he is number 2 on this list and not number 1 says everything about just how good number 1 is. Let's be honest with each other. Kabaka Pyramid is, right now in 2024, arguably the most complete roots reggae artist on the planet.
Strictly message I send from your born in Jamaica, there is no escaping it. Reggae music.
Lyrically sharp, spiritually grounded, musically elite. He can write a song that hits you like a burning spear track, heavy with history and purpose, and still make it feel completely current.
There is no escaping it. Reggae music from the top, it's everybody's favorite. Say you know.
Kabaka Pyramid, born Brendan Anthony Campbell in Kingston, Jamaica, started making music in the mid-2000s and began building his reputation through mixtapes and live shows. He's a member of the Bebel Rock Music Collective,
Big up all the sound, them that been doing it for a while. King Jamis and Stone love them and the leading fireman,
which has become one of the most respected musical families in the modern Jamaican scene. That his 2023 album, The Calling, won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album.
Lord. Watch ya. I say, Mr. DJ, kill that sound again.
And here's the detail that puts everything in perspective. It was produced by Damian Marley and Stephen Marley, the sons of the greatest reggae artist who ever lived.
I make the sacrifice to put Jamaica on the top. Now everyone I touch the style and I say, hey, Mr.
Looked at the modern landscape, chose one artist and said, we want to put our family name on his project. That is the highest possible endorsement in this music.
Prerogative, a strictly message I send from your born in Jamaica, there is no escaping it. Reggae.
The Calling weaves traditional roots reggae with hip-hop sensibility in a way that feels organic, not grafted on. It's conscious without being preachy. It's heavy without being slow. It's modern without forgetting where it came from.
The morning vibes now go end. Me love to see the uptown and get the people blend. I say I'm.
For 80s reggae fans, Kabaka Pyramid is probably the easiest entry point into the new generation. If you love the serious, message-driven roots sound of the classic era, his music will immediately feel like home.
Natural and nothing satanic. And if you're born overseas, you need to take a trip like a bill.
Not a copy of home. Home itself, just redecorated with purpose and intelligence. And now, number 1. The man who didn't just make great music, he started a movement. He brought roots reggae back from the edge. Here comes the king.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Number 1, Chronixx X, the king, the man who brought roots back. Let me take you somewhere for a moment. It's 2012 in Kingston, Jamaica. The music coming out of the island is dominated by dancehall, fast, digital, slick production, big personality, roots reggae, the music that you grew up loving.
Occupy the motherland, calling all soldiers to kind each other along. From
The music of Burning Spear and Culture and Steel Pulse, it had been pushed to the margins. The young generation wasn't making it, radio wasn't playing it, industry wasn't funding it.
soldiers coming from near and far, I choose executing.
And then this young man picked up a microphone and everything changed. Chronixx, born Jamar Rolando McNaughton in Kingston, Jamaica in 1992, grew up in a deeply musical family.
Operation Occupy the motherland, calling all soldiers to kind each other.
His father, Chronicle, was a respected dancehall DJ, but Chronixx felt the pull of something older, something deeper. He felt the roots. His early mixtapes and singles began circulating through Kingston in the early 2000s, and the reaction was immediate.
Fire in a room that doesn't me fi purge, but I can't do it alone. Rasta.
People felt something they hadn't felt in a long time. Here was a young Jamaican artist in the digital age choosing live instruments over drum machines, choosing conscious lyrics over slackness.
Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta.
Choosing the spirit of the 70s and 80s over everything the modern market was telling him to do. Alongside Protoje and others, Chronixx became the face of what writer and activist Duddy Bookman
By the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I'm on a start recruit soldiers.
named the Reggae Revival, a movement that brought roots reggae back to Jamaica's center stage. But calling it a revival, Chronixx himself has said, I doesn't quite capture what it really was. It wasn't a revival.
You're not for axes who are the general issue in a warning boy. Waving the
It was a continuation. The music never really died. It just waited for the right voices. His 2017 debut album, Chronology, is a modern classic. Let me say that again, a modern classic.
Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, welcome the Savior,
It earned Grammy nominations, international critical acclaim, and sold out shows across Europe, North America, and beyond. His single Here Comes Trouble became an anthem.
I said we're sent by the Savior. Here comes trouble, my friend.
Not just a popular song, an anthem. And the kind of song that means something the morning after you hear it. His live performances carry the same electricity that the great 80s acts carried. When Chronixx plays, it feels like something is at stake.
Welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. You're not for axes who are the
Like the music matters. Like every note is being played for a reason. He has appeared on major stages worldwide, Glastonbury, Coachella, festivals and theaters everywhere. And everywhere he goes, the response is the same.
far I choose executing. Selassie I works and be Rasta.
This music reaches people, all kinds of people. Because truth always travels. For you, the 45-plus reggae fan who thought the best days were behind you, Chronixx is the proof that you were wrong.
Rasta youths, you're not for axes who are the general issue in a warning.
Not every generation produces an artist who can carry a culture forward without compromising it.
Rastafari choose. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, sent by
Chronixx is that rare human being. His number one spot on this list is not just about talent, it's about meaning. The story of reggae is still being written, and his chapter is one of the best ones yet.